Hey, welcome back to a new edition of Local Focus. I'm your host, Sebastian Noel. We are in the basketball season here at Proview Networks. Be sure to log on to ProviewNetworks.com to check out our basketball schedule. My guest today is Sandia Matador, Dalen Moyer. Dalen, welcome to the show, man.
Of course, thanks for having me.
First of all, every time I see you now, you have a different haircut. Like you had it braided up one game, now you got the curls. What's going on there?
Honestly, I just wanted to change up my hairstyle a little bit. I've had the curls since like middle school, and like I dyed it a couple times, but I wanted to get a change in.
What went into the game where you were all braided out?
I don't know. I mainly wanted to wear it for like the headband, the way the headband like covered.
It does look pretty smooth, that red headband.
The braids, yeah.
Like, are you the guy on the team that's got like the fashion sense and all that stuff going on? Like out of the big four there, are you that guy or?
Low key, I mean, we all have our like own drips, so it's really.
But if you were rating drip, like who would you say that? You know, we like to do that on the program. If you were rating drip,
if I was just rating the drip, I don't know. I'd have to put me in the first spot, to be honest. I ain't gonna lie.
And how does yours compare to the other three do? Like,
mine, I just had to like switch it up every game. So like some games I have like a sleeve or like an undershirt, and then usually I'll try to wear some type of headband.
And then how does that compare to like a Lamarion drip or a Drew drip or Eli drip? I feel like Eli's is just sweats and sandals. Is that really drip?
I mean, it's the Hooper drip.
Yeah,
it's the Hooper drip.
I feel like
he's comfortability.
He's just like whatever.
Yeah,
right.
He just
All right, so what about the other two?
I don't know. I would put Drew second. Drew second for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Like his tights and like his undershirt is just his signature.
Right.
So yeah, and then Mari, that's just Mari. He be having different drip every game with the knee brace, so it's kind of hard. But
is that really drip, a knee brace?
I mean, not kind of. Depends on how you wear it. He wears like a little sleeve over it, so he be dripping it out. But yeah, that's how I would rank him.
Who would rack up like the biggest bill at the mall? Like if you guys are just shopping and it's time for something like that, right? Who would rack up?
Do we have like a specific limit?
No, there's no. But like let's just say you had whoever's credit card, right? And there was not a limit. Who would just naturally, if you were going through it, and who would have the highest total at the end if you're all dripped out to your styles?
I don't know. I would say Drew, low key.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew.
Like he would go high price designer, you think?
Yeah, probably. I don't know, to be honest.
Who would stick in the Nike lane?
The Nike lane? I would definitely go the Nike lane for sure.
And you think Drew might go high name designer?
Maybe. I don't know. It's a
what
possibility.
About shoes?
He might. Shoes, I feel like we'd all be pretty expensive with shoes, to be honest. Yeah.
Is there a sneakerhead on the team? Because I heard that gets pretty serious. Like sneakerheads are like intense. Like the way they buy and sell online. Some of them design their own. Like, is there a sneakerhead on the team or not really?
Not really. We all just be wearing like slides and stuff mainly.
Okay.
So yeah.
Like slides get expensive too, though, right? Like super expensive.
They're like $60, and sometimes it'd be like the only shoes that you be wearing, so they'd be like scraping and stuff a lot on the ground.
Now I've seen like my boy Judah Casals. He has like a $250 pair of slides, like so.
The Yeezy slides.
Yeah, like slides get super expensive, right?
Yeah, those ones are super comfortable though, and it's like Kanye. So
is it like walking on $250? Is it that comfortable?
Low key,
like
maybe like $100.
What's the most expensive pair of shoes you own?
I own. I don't know. Probably in. Damn, I'm trying to think of what shoes I have. To be honest, I don't be wearing shoes for. I would say honestly like $90, just my Black Forces.
See, that's more my speed. Like,
I just
like I could like if I gave you $250, would you spend it on slides? Would you ever see yourself, no matter what, if you had if you had just an unlimited income, could you see yourself dropping $2 on slides?
Oh yeah, definitely. If I have an unlimited income, I'm definitely buying the slides.
Okay, all right. But like that seems excessive for slides, $250.
Yeah, it is a lot, but it's kind of worth it if you have the.
Right. Okay. So the curls is what we're at right now. That's what we should expect for the end of the rest of the season, or.
I'll probably braid it up again, to be honest, a little bit later down the road.
What about during the playoff stretch? Like, soccer guys do this a lot. Like, I know the Pius guys, when it comes time for state, they all go blonde or something crazy. Would you guys ever consider anything crazy for like a state title run, you think?
I don't know.
What if Eli says, "Hey, bring it in. we're all going bald like Coach Brown for the state tournament. Would you guys be in on that or no?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bald is crazy.
Right.
Maybe like a little. Maybe I would probably dye it. I would dye it for sure. Yeah.
Would you go complete blonde if someone threw that idea out? Say, hey, we're all gonna go bleach blonde for the state tournament. Do you think everyone would be down for that?
I don't know if everyone would be down, but I would be down.
Okay.
It's a team bonding experience.
Right.
So I would definitely.
Team bonding. You guys look like you're really close this season, man. So tell me about that.
Our chemistry is, I don't know, it's pretty good. We be with each other a lot, like during school and out of school too. So that bonds us together, like giving each other rides home and things of that nature.
Do you think that's important on the court?
Yeah, most definitely. Because if you could trust your brothers like off the court, you could trust them on the court too. Like you'll know that they'll have your back and you'll have theirs too.
And so you guys think that gives you a competitive advantage over other teams? Because, I mean, you guys seem tight.
Yeah, it definitely does give us a competitive advantage because we know what each other's are going through and like stuff like that.
Okay.
So we're just fighting for the same thing.
What about you hear guys that play together for a really long time in the NBA and stuff talk about like, oh, I know where he's going to be on the floor at all times. Like, is that a real thing? Do you guys feel that? Do you know where you guys are going to be at on the floor?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's a real thing because I know there's plenty of times where Eli will be driving and I'll slide to the corner. And if he don't have like nothing in the middle, he'll kick it out to me in the corner like he'll know I'll be there. That's one example.
So you guys pretty good. Like you guys all feel like you know where you're going to be at on the floor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick time out here. We're with Dalen Moyer. We'll talk more Sandia Matadors hoops when we get back.
Lazos, Gedman, Martin, 3-ball. Yep.
Love back up with the ball. Beautiful shot. I tell you what, it's Ava Love. This has been her quarter.
Julia Espinosa with a good pass from Lee, and she makes the layup, and she is fouled.
To Gossett.
They're going to have to double team. Rerun's got to double team.
Leave it underneath for Gossett, and the layup and the foul. Chance at a three-point play.
Jack Cutt's beautiful pass. Great ball movement, and Rivera has his first two of the game.
Eva Love, top of the key. Nice shot by Love.
The high screens. Knocked away by Hill, who takes it up with the left hand and scores. Andrew Hill has 14 in the game. Big turn.
Hold out. Rebound, Gossett. He saves it to Perez. He's got Amos in front of the pack, wide open on the layup, the block, but the putback for Perez.
To 8, or rather 7. And Ashton Capps, that's 3 steals that led to buckets. Make it 4, yes! Timeout taken by Rio Grande. You got
Nice move from Hill, and he throws it down. Andrew Hill ties the game at 12.
All right, back with Sandia's Dalen Moyer. We're talking about Sandia, the Matadors, the chemistry. We were talking about that a little bit before the break. And you call them brothers. it does feel like you guys are that close, man. Like you consider them family now. Like it feels like it when I watch you guys together on the floor before the game, at practice, free throw thon, all that stuff. I mean, there's something different about you guys.
Yeah, I definitely consider them my brothers. Each and every individual on the team for sure.
Right.
Those are my guys.
Now, who's you have the longest history with?
The longest,
as far as basketball and just sports.
Definitely Gerald and Eli.
Okay.
Because we played Yaffle together our very first year. We were like 7 or 8, I think, something like that. So yeah, them two for sure.
What other sports did you play at that age? Because you I mean, obviously you play football at Sandia, we know that. But what else, you take us all the way back to those Yaffle days that you just mentioned. What else was little Dalen Moyer doing at that time?
I was playing baseball, football, basketball, really. That's what took up my life, was just those three.
Okay. And which, at that time, that young time, which were you the best at?
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah, baseball, definitely.
Okay. And when did that kind of change?
It changed like my 7th going into 8th grade year. That's when I stopped. Because it started getting in the way of basketball too much, and basketball was like my true love, so I followed it.
When did that take over? When did basketball become the love?
It started becoming the love like 7th grade. Like when we started traveling and stuff for AAU with my Heat team.
Okay.
That's when it really.
And talk about that. I mean, that's a pretty good team, club team, right? What were some of the dudes on that team that you started to bond with at that time?
Judah, Dalen, Gideon, Harry,
right?
Simo and Nasim.
So, from an outsider, you seem way too laid back to be a baseball player.
Do I?
Like baseball players, they're kind of a little off, a little crazy, right? Kind of a little ADD, kind of, like they do all kinds of weird stuff, right? Like with the inside-out helmet or the hats inside out and stuff.
All the superstitions.
Yeah. Like that doesn't seem like your speed, because you're like giving me that super laid-back vibe. Like, So, all right. So baseball's gone, but how good were you?
I was pretty good. I was making the all-star teams and stuff like consistently.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom, she was disappointed that I'm not currently playing baseball.
All right.
Yeah, that's the sport that she liked watching me play the most. Yeah.
Was there thought of that maybe? Like, hey, maybe I could try to play all three at Sandia? Was that ever on the radar, you think?
Not really. I mean, I was thinking about it last year, but I feel like it's kind of too late for me to get back in that groove. Right. And they got their own thing going on over there, so I don't want to come in and potentially mess that up. So.
Now, but a bunch of you guys decided last year, hey, we're going to play baseball or we're going to play football too, right? Like that wasn't.
Yeah.
When did you guys kind of all decide that?
I just been playing since my freshman year, so I kind of like persuaded them to play with me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And how did you do that? I have my own theory into that. If you want to hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
My theory is you guys just needed some time. You wanted some time away from Dan, from Coach Brown. So you're like, let's go play football. Could that be?
No, that was definitely in the conversation a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was in the conversation. But.
You're not the only player that would do that. I will. I'm not gonna name him, but there was a basketball player that played at Hope Christian that he did decide to start playing football, just taking a small break away from basketball, right? And that's okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are the two different?
I would say football, it's a lot more slow, a lot more slow pace, and a lot of game planning that goes into it. So, and then basketball, our practice and stuff is more fast paced because we're trying to get out and run. So there's game plan that goes into it too, but we're mainly focusing on us and what we're trying to do. And run and stuff.
And every basketball coach I've ever talked to tells me football shape, they got to get in basketball shape. Is that a real thing when you're coming out of football going into basketball?
Mm-hmm, it definitely is. My first couple weeks back, I was gassed. I'm not gonna lie in practice. Did Coach Brown say, hey, I got to get you football guys in shape? Yeah, he would say that a lot. That was definitely one of his main focal points.
So that's real. You were huffing. No, don't leave that there. I want to see. Josh, can you? No, you can see it. Look at home. If you look closely at Dalen's leg, my man has his gum out on his pants. That's where he decided would be the best spot for his gum.
I was gonna put it
during this interview. That's all right.
I was gonna put it on the bottle cap, and then I was like, I kind of need something to fidget with.
That's how smooth.
And I forgot
Dalen Moyer is. He just smoothly put his gum out on his right pant leg. No, it's okay, man. It's all right. What were we talking about? All right, we're talking about football into basketball, right? So that's real. That whole basketball shape is real.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to get into basketball shape?
Usually a couple weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks, and after that, I'm not fully in basketball shape, but I'm pretty close.
That's pretty scary to think you guys are not, like, you're not fully, because you guys have been running some teams out of the gym, man.
Yeah.
Talk about that, your start to the season.
Our start to the season's been good. I can't complain. We're 5-1, 4-1, 5-1.
Right.
Yeah, we just beat Albuquerque High. So yeah, it's been good. Just getting up and down, running with my guys. It's been great.
Right. Now you guys could have easily put 100 on Palo Duro early in the season. Coach Brown, took you guys out, obviously, because it's a blowout, right?
Yeah.
But, talking about games like that got to be pretty fun to play, and you're just getting up and down. Your defensive pressure just causing layup after layup. Drew had a dunk in that game. Talk about how fun games are like that when you just defense leads to offense, man.
Yeah, those games are definitely fun. Like focusing defensively, keeping our arms high, and it leads to good offense too. And it's like sharing the ball with each other. It's nice. We had, I think he was talking about like 21 assists, I want to say. Something like that. Yeah, we had a lot of assists though. So
Now, if he would have left you guys in, you guys would have hit a bill for sure, though, right?
yeah, I mean, yeah, we still had capability with our subs going in, but
Right. Well, because what was it at halftime? It was like 50 something, right? 52 or something.
yeah, I think we had 52 going in the half.
All right. So you guys, what do you guys have to do to win the Metro tournament?
I said we have to work defensively. Definitely, we've been slacking recently on defense. So yeah, focus defensively, playing hands high, and getting fast-paced offense, just outrunning teams.
Now, I talked to Lamarion when he was on the program about that whole killer instinct thing, right? Like, how's that going? Like, you feel like you guys are making progress towards that, where you just intimidate the hell out of teams yet?
I mean, I feel like we're still working on it, to be honest. We got to get the killer instinct first in game to be able to just scare teams whenever we walk into the gym. So we still haven't fully figured out the killer instinct thing on the court yet, but we'll get there.
Okay, all right. What expectations, man, going into the season? Obviously, you guys they have to be a lot higher than last year.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
Our expectations going into the year, obviously, it's like winning, pretty much, just winning. Winning Metro, winning districts, like start there, and then work our way into the state tournament, make a good run, hopefully get the blue.
And those goals kind of all just stack on top of each other, right? Like that's how it starts, right? With a small goal, like winning your district, and then winning Metro, those things all kind of stack up. You're having a good season when you can start to check off some of those boxes, right?
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
I want to talk about that more when we get back. We'll take another break. We'll get back with Dalen Moyer right after this.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of Proview Networks.
All right, we're back with Dalen Moyer. We're talking about goals for the season, right, before we went to break. And we talked about Metro, we talked about District, and we talked about, of course, the Blue, right?
Yes, sir.
So how does that work? How does those goals get set, man? Like, I mean, obviously Coach Brown has something to do with that. But when you got dudes like you and Lamarion and Drew and Eli and all those guys, I figure that you guys probably do a lot of that on your own too, right? Like, how do those goals get set as a team? Or do individuals come together? Is it all on the coach? Tell me about that.
It's a mix of us and the coach. So it's like, I don't know, we all just want like what's best for each other and what's good for the program. So those goals, we just all work together and figure them out.
Right. Now what about individual goals, man? What were some of your goals heading into the season? Because obviously you had a nice year last year, right? You had a nice football season. Obviously, Sandia's it's tough football there, right? It's been some tough times. So as you started the basketball season, what were some of your individual goals?
My individual goals were to get my teammates involved, definitely get their confidence going, and then get my own confidence going too. Confidence is a big part. Yeah, and then being a leader, being a more vocal leader, that's something I could work on too.
Right. And so where do you think your progress is on those two things?
I feel like they're good. My assists have been very consistent, and then like I've been trying to talk more to my team, get them going, like in practice and games, things like that.
I feel like the four of you guys are just you guys are all at such a high level. I mean, I love you guys' game, all four. You guys know I'm a big fan of all four of you guys, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I feel like it's almost like you guys are so good that you guys just kind of all check yourselves and each other. Does that make sense? Like, it seems like the leadership just comes from everywhere on that team. Am I way off, or does it pretty much come from everywhere?
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. It comes from everywhere. Even our younger guys, they'll step up, show leadership too. So it comes from everywhere for sure. It's just a bunch of different personalities mixing and getting along.
All right, so different personalities, right? Like, obviously we saw Lamarion on the show, right? His personality is just so big, right? It's like it's like Draymond, right?
Yeah.
And then you see Drew, more quiet, right? A little reserved.
Yeah.
You're kind of laid back, right? What's Dalen Moyer's personality?
Me?
Like, what do you like when the cameras are not on? I'm not there. What do you like then? When it's just you and the fellas, what's Dalen Moyer like?
I would say, I know I'm usually more talkative and like cracking jokes and stuff, laughing, just being like, what's the word? Being more energetic.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll like stay quiet though, just like laugh around. It just depends on how I'm feeling. So.
What's the one thing that our audience doesn't know about Dalen Moyer?
One thing that they don't know about
that
me?
might be a shock.
Oh, dang. Put me on the spot. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know. I'm good at 2K. I would say that.
You are good at 2K.
I'm tough.
Okay.
I'm pretty tough at 2K.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, you beat the team, or who do you play with?
Yeah, usually the team. Play with them like on tournaments and stuff at each other's houses. So.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the time you got stuck behind the couch. Right? You were telling me earlier that as a small child, you were basically trapped.
Yeah.
Like behind a couch, under a couch. Take me through that.
It was behind the couch. My parents told me that.
How did this happen?
I was like walking, I guess, and there's space between the couch and the wall, so I just like walked through and I got stuck.
How does someone get stuck behind a couch walking?
I don't know. I was like 3, so I don't really remember.
Like, were you panicking? Do you think? How do they tell the story?
I probably was. I think I was crying.
Naturally.
Like whenever
that would be devastating as a 3-year-old.
You're just like stuck. You can't move. So
right?
It's like, what am I supposed to do other than cry?
So how do your parents tell that story when they tell you that story? What do they tell you happened?
They just say they heard me like crying, like screaming, and then they came out into the living room and I was just there behind the couch and they like waddled me backwards. Then went on about the day.
That's it. That's the most traumatic experience of your life, probably. I could see a 3-year-old getting stuck behind a couch. Like, that's scary.
Yeah, it definitely was from my extensive what I remember.
I mean, like that could be scary. I could definitely see that. Like, I was afraid of the dark when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's how I am kind of now.
That lasted for a long time. for me. Like I was like at night. It was had to have the night lights on. My mom tells me I was terrified as a child to flush the toilet at night when it was dark because it made a loud noise.
So you would just like leave it and flush
No, I would flush it and run back to my room. She said, yeah. So I grew up in Germany, and apparently toilets are louder in Germany.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't know that.
I guess that's a real thing. But so she tells me that, much like this traumatizing couch story, that I would just flush it and run back to my room.
Whoa.
But only at night.
Only at night. Did you ever like stub your toe on anything?
No, just terrified. Flush and run. That was my thing. I think, but I mean, I think getting stuck behind a couch would be scarier.
I don't know. The dark's pretty scary.
It is. It can be scary. It was traumatizing. Yeah. All right. Let's get back on track, man. We got off the rails a little bit there. What do you guys have to do to lift the blue trophy at the end of the season?
We gotta play together, play hard, play smart too. That's one thing. Take smart, good shots, and really get in teams defensively and push the pace, run them out of the gym.
What about as an individual? What's next for Dalen Moyer? I feel like this team has guys that should be playing at the next level. So what's next for you?
Honestly, I don't know yet, to be honest. I'm just like working on sending film out to coaches, waiting on responses to see what I can get.
And what's that process like? I mean, what is, because that's probably something that people ask me a lot. Like, what do I have to do, right? So what are you currently doing?
I'm getting the clips from my games, just like screen recording them, making little highlight films and just sending them out, telling coaches to look at them. So.
Right, and where would you see yourself playing hoops? I mean, what are some of the schools you've contacted? Where would you like to be?
I would say honestly, any school in New Mexico, it doesn't really matter where.
So you'd like to stay close to home?
Yeah, or out of state too.
You can tell us the truth.
A little bit.
Kinda,
yeah.
Yeah?
I ain't gonna lie.
So you like to stay close to home?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big family guy. So,
yeah? So that's important to you?
Yeah.
So, you watch a guy like, you watch a team like Highlands maybe that plays pretty fast. They shoot the three, they press, they do things like that. So that's something that would maybe intrigue you?
Yeah, low-key, yeah. Definitely Highlands, like Western, Eastern, anywhere really, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to get an opportunity to play at the next level for sure.
All right. Lastly now, when you look back at this time, basketball, hoops, with this is a pretty special group. Obviously, the way the Cinderella story ends is you guys lift a blue trophy, right?
Yeah.
Well, this isn't a movie. It doesn't always happen like that, right? You guys got to work to do that, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
But, I mean, how will you look back on this time, man? Because you guys have had a pretty, obviously you and Eli, then Andrew comes over, Lamarion comes over, right? And it's been pretty special. But is there only one way for this movie to end, or how will you look back on this time?
I definitely feel like there's only one way for it to end, us holding up the blue trophy. That'll be cool for sure. It's good memories, gives something to look back on.
Right.
We've been building the program, so that'll be good to have something like that along the way.
Yeah, Lamarion mentioned, he wants to leave the program in a better place than he found it. Is that something that's important for you?
Yeah, most definitely. Just trying to build the program for Coach Brown in the future. And like the guys to come, my bad.
Right.
So,
yeah, and you guys got some good young guys there. Well, Dalen, I really appreciate you coming in, man. Good luck the rest of the season. We'll be watching. Thanks for coming, and thank you for watching, everybody. Good night.